6 o'clock. Y'all stand. First, we say a prayer.
Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight. We ask for strength and guidance in the decisions that we make here for our district. And pray that you will protect our kids and our teachers and our staff every day as they go into work. Pray that you will protect the kids that are traveling for sports right now and keep them safe in their travels. Just help us to do your will in these things we ask in Jesus' name.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag.
I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one
and indivisible.
I just imagine your face and
Do you want to speak in,
Maybe,
Kim, do you or Mindy want to speak in
Mindy
open? or-
doesn't, she signed in accidentally.
Okay, no problem. What about Kim? Did you want to talk? Okay. Just want to make sure. All right, let's start off with recognition of our guest. Gina, do you want to?
Yes, sir. And I asked Ms. Hodges to come. Ms. Hodges put a project together with some of our kiddos and raised some money, and we're going to talk about the project they put together and where that money is going to go.
For our GT students, we wanted to do a community project, and we got together the 5th, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd, where we have our GT kids, and typed up a little letter. It's for Pause for a Cause, and it's our Gifted and Talented Community Service Project. And what we've done, we've asked the kiddos to bring money from the elementary school, and we got their little name on a paw for each dollar that they brought, and then we posted these on a board in front of the gym so that everybody could recognize who brought the money, and it's for animal control. And I talked to our new animal control officer and just what the needs were. Initially, we were going to try to do food for them, but with the fire and everything being donated to them, they have some bigger needs, which we've decided on a chip scanner so that they can scan the dogs, which legally they have to have, but somehow got lost in the transmission between the animal control officers. And then we're also going to purchase legs for the corunda beds that they have. And so I think that it really was neat for the kids to get to do, and each student, we only have 5, but each student had a big part in it and did their own little thing. And I just got this to show y'all and brought a little pause. And we do have a picture. We'll look at that too. The kids standing in front of the huge board because we raised $260 for that.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Mrs. Carr isn't here, but Mrs. Broadus?
Yes, and she just wanted me to talk about all the donations we've gotten for our students that lost their homes. I've had several schools and a couple of businesses reach out to us. I got wish lists together, had the kids fill them out. We're in the process of doing thank you letters right now. We're going to have a little Coke and candy party. They donated stuff for our kids. They got totes full of $100 gift certificates, clothes, Legos, games, just all kinds of stuff, anything you could think of, fishing poles. We had several people step up. I recently, within the past couple days, have had another school reach out and wants us to create Amazon wish lists for the families that lost their homes, and so I'm going to be in the process of working on that. And we had a little coffee shop that is donating $275. It was their tip jar for the month, and they want that money to go to the kids and their families for anything that they might need. So that is what we're doing. I'll get pictures once I get some thank you letters written. I've got a couple done, but we're still in the process of that. So as soon as that's complete, we'll get you some pictures and all that stuff, so.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
All right, let's start off with the new business, or, oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Drury. I apologize. Skipped right over you, didn't I?
That's all right. I invited Ms. Line and the OAP group to come. They did very well this year, advanced to by district. Of course, I know I'm biased, but I also believe they should have gone on from there. After watching all the acts, I think they did very well. They represented us well. And I invited them here. Ms. Line could maybe shed some more light on that.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much for having us here. Thank you, Mr. Drury. I appreciate it. Again, my name's Robin Line, and this is my 3rd year doing theater at the high school, and we keep growing and getting better every year. As Mr. Drury said, we advanced out of district to by-district competition in Wellington, competed against 5 other schools, and like I said, represented well. At district competition, we received Best Stage Manager Award for Davian Wickerson. He got chosen out of all the other stage managers. The kids get recognized, the individual actors get recognized. There is an honorable mention all-star cast, and Trace Downs was part of the honorable mention all-star cast for district. And then Aubrey Freeman, who's not here with us this evening, was named honorable mention all-star cast at district. And then, so then there's also all-star cast. And we had 2 students named to the all-star cast, Madison Boyd, who's not here with us this evening, and Damian Franz, who was named to the all-star cast. So did real well there. Went on to Wellington. What was it, like a week later? Yeah, like a week later. And unfortunately, like Mr. Drury said, we didn't advance, but we cleaned up in the awards department. Honorable mention all-star cast, again, Madison Boyd. All-star cast, Trace Downs. So we did have the best overall actress out of all the schools at by district, Aubrey Freeman. She did a fantastic job. Best crew member, Grace Neighbors. So great. This was her first year on crew, and she killed it. And we also had the outstanding crew out of everybody there at by district. Grace again, Devin Schultz, Will Line, Bailey Line, Remedy Lang, and Brooke Mim. So the kids, they did such a fantastic job, and we've already started prepping for next year. So we're real excited and looking forward to a wonderful season. We invite y'all to come watch us anytime you get a chance, and come watch these kids do what they do best. So thank you again for your support. We couldn't do it without y'all. And Mr. Drury's been such a huge help to us this year. Came and watched us and gave us some feedback that was invaluable, and so like I said, we couldn't do it without y'all. So thank you very much. We appreciate y'all.
Do y'all want to come up and Tanya get a quick picture of you?
I bet you wish you hadn't gone to the gym.
Y'all didn't get a chance to see it, y'all missed out. You did a really good job.
Don't do that.
Do not. No gang signs.
Okay. Okay, y'all ready? Okay, good job.
Thank y'all.
Good job.
Y'all can go if you want.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Thank you.
All right, let's go into new business. Does anybody have any questions on the consent agenda? No? Okay. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Have a motion by Doug, do I have a second? Second. Excuse me, second by Logan, all in favor? All in favor and opposed, motion carries. All right, let's move on to the regular agenda. Let's talk about the West Texas Food Service Agreement.
Yes, sir. This is just the food agreement that we have with the West Texas Food Service Co-op. That's how we get our food for our cafeteria. We've been a member of it for several years now, so.
Long time.
Yeah, so I recommend we continue with the co-op.
Okay, we have a recommendation by Jason. Do we have a motion?
I move to approve the 2024-2025 West Texas Food Service Cooperative Interlocal Agreement.
Have a motion by Doug. Do we have a second? Second. By Mike. Is that Mike? Yes. Okay. All in favor? All in favor? None opposed, motion carries. All right, Mr. Hine, would you talk about our budget amendment?
I put it out there on the table in front of you. Jason had asked me about, we've been having some issues getting some of our teams to events, and so we talked about 15 passenger buses again. They're more readily available now, so I checked into a new price. It's $106,000 for a new one. This is not a special ed, this is just like our 15 passenger current activity bus. So we looked for used. We found a place in Dallas that has several 2007 shuttle buses. They're white buses. At roughly, they're about 29,000 each, about 38,000 miles on them. So we decided to bring it to you and see if you wanted to. You want to add anything to it there?
Well, and, you know, the thing about it is not only do, you know, athletics use the current bus we have, but, you know, cheerleaders use it. We have several other organizations that use it throughout the year. So, you know, we looked into the vans and we just can't get one. And so, you know, this would benefit us in several areas. And, you know, it kind of helps with, in the event if we, you know, we do have shortages with coaches and CDLs or, you know, other organizations that don't have a CDL, it helps us get us there without having to, you know, find a bus driver because, you know, we are short on those. You know, we've got enough to cover our routes, but when it comes to trying to pull a bus driver off a route to take a organization, it's tough sometimes because, you know, we don't always have a backup. So this would help alleviate some of those issues.
How many?
Two.
Of them.
Are you currently using an old yellow dog every time you do it? I mean, that's what you're trying to alleviate, right? To use this.
Well, no, we've got that what the party bus or whatever it's called.
The small activity.
The small activity bus. And so it would help alleviate that. I mean, that's the one that right now the wheels are getting driven off of.
It's not very old, is it? 5 years?
We bought it in the 2014 bond, so it's older than
10 years.
Yeah, I mean, we probably got it a year later, so we probably got it in 15, so it's probably about 9 years old, yeah.
And they're all white? Just looking around.
These are just completely white. We probably wouldn't go to wrapping because the cost of wrapping is like $8,000 to $12,000.
It's going up a lot.
So, what we talked about was just trying to get somebody to print like a decal to put across the top or something, just to break up the white a little bit. So, I mean, that's a lot to wrap a bus,
It is.
especially an older bus.
Okay. Any more questions?
How well has the current one held up? Pretty well, or
Yeah,
how many miles an hour do you know?
I don't know off the top of my head. Yeah, I didn't think about.
That's fine. I just wondered how much it's been in the shop and whether it has or hasn't.
We have had so like the back door latch broke off once, and you never know what happened in the parking lot to make that happen. And then there was the gas cap got lost, and so we kept having a error message, so we had to take it somewhere to have that looked at, and it ended up just being the gas cap. I'm trying to think. There was one other minor issue, no mechanical issues. Now, the ones we're talking about are not even the same brand, same
Right.
style.
I was just trying to go off comparison.
So the current one's a Ford, right?
Yeah, I do believe it is, yes, sir.
So are these Chevys?
I don't know off the top of my head, let me look real quick. They were what we could find. We found them in 2 different places. There's a place in Dallas that has them, there's a place in Oklahoma City that has them. We don't know the price in Oklahoma City, we do know the prices in Dallas.
And you're not required to have a CDL to operate these?
No, sir, yeah.
They're just handy to have.
Right.
I mean, I think, probably the coaches prefer those if they have a smaller team, cheerleading, coach, golf, those kind of things. So you don't have to have a big bus.
We use the one we have constantly. I mean, it is.
So 2 wouldn't hurt us at all, would it?
No. Let me see here. Almost there.
I do think we need to, if we do get them, look at maybe just having top rafters, not the whole thing, but it's gotta have something.
No, I think it needs, yeah, I agree. It needs something on it.
They are Chevys.
What, you don't want black with the wire mesh on it?
I don't know, when it comes down the road, I wanna know it's the Eagles.
Black tinted windows?
You don't want to know what's coming out of there.
I've seen, I can't remember whether it was Panhandle, but some school around us got something similar. They just put the lettering on it and it looks like a prison bus.
Yeah, that's why I want something up on the top, an Eagles, something. So
Eagle on the
we'll- I
hood,
bet
the
we
side,
can find
yeah.
something. We can find something,
Yeah, I bet we can handle that. So.
yeah.
Yeah, so they are Chevys. They're Chevy 3500 Express shuttle buses. And we did look to make sure, last time we looked for school buses, so they're ones that are painted yellow and have all the extra stuff on them. I still can't find school buses. But we did make sure that a shuttle bus meets all the requirements that we have for an activity bus, and they do.
Okay.
Do we need to have your opinion on that?
He'll come back with another amendment.
Just saying, we we're
So
here.
you plan on 25 grand for a couple of them.
Play now, play later.
Yeah. If we can find somebody to do the wrap.
Yeah, I just don't know. We haven't checked that far.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
No.
Anybody? Okay, do I have a motion?
I move to approve.
Well,
Okay. I move to approve a budget amendment for the 2023-24 school year.
have a motion by Stacy. Do I have a second?
Second.
Who's that? You, Rusty? Second by Rusty. All in favor? All in favor, none opposed, motion carries. All right. Let's talk about technology allotment. Mr. Hines, that's gonna be you.
Oh, Mrs. Searle.
Mrs. Searles.
Yes.
It says, no, it doesn't say that on there.
Yes, this is our, what we have to do annually to get our textbook allotment. This is our, what we show, the curriculum that we're using for the following school year, showing that we're covering 100% of it for our classes. And so we just need it approved, that way we can get our money for our books.
Okay.
Is there any big changes?
Yes, we have a science adoption. Next year we're going to adopt new science materials. There's new science teaks. And so we've looked at all of the teaks, or all of the materials, and we're going to go with the Savas curriculum. The teachers we had a Zoom with the Savas people, and they really fell in love with the online materials, the hands-on materials, all of the things that come with that. And Ms. McCowan and Ms. Carr sat in on that. And the teachers were really impressed with the Savas materials. So that's what we're getting for next year for science.
So they have changed the teaks for the science?
Yes, yes, and so what they're doing with science is they're basing each unit around, they're calling it essential phenomena, and so each science unit has a phenomena, so like an overarching topic, and then the materials just kind of loop back they cover it in multiple ways that they loop back to that phenomena, and so it's supposed to be very circular and get the kids more involved. It's supposed to be more hands-on, lots more labs. The materials we're purchasing have online labs, so the teachers have a choice of an online lab versus a hands-on lab. So if they can't get to the hands-on lab, there's a lot of built-in online virtual labs with this material. It seems very interactive, So I think we're gonna get a lot of really good stuff out of it.
Any questions? Okay, do I have a motion?
I move to approve the educational materials and technology allotment for the 2023-2024 school year.
A motion by Doug, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Stacy. All in favor? All in favor, none opposed, motion carries. All right, let's talk about the auditor.
Yes, sir. This is just to approve to have Mark Kyle and his company do our audit that we have to have done every year. So I recommend we continue using him. He does a good job for us, and so I would recommend to continue with him.
Okay. My recommendation by Jason, do I have a second, or a motion?
I move to approve the engagement letter with Kyle and Company.
Motion by Stacy, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mike. All in favor? All in favor, none opposed, motion carries. All right, we're going to go to campus reports and start with Mr. McCowan.
Our kiddos took the reading language arts test yesterday and finished that. Next week will be science, and the week after that is math. And I have their benchmark data. I didn't have that last time when we met, but I do have that to share with you. And we're certainly hoping that those reading scores are like the benchmark that they took. We're sitting at about 335. I think we had one kiddo withdrawal this week, but we're staying pretty steady. Our attendance rate is at 93.4. I do want to say that we've had multiple donations. I think every time we turn around, someone else is coming through our door. Tractor Supply came the other day and heard that backpacks were not going to be provided by Extended Hands for all kids next year. So she probably brought us 40 backpacks with supplies, which was fabulous. Also, this week I looked up and Renee Curry for Education Credit Union was walking in with goodies for our teachers before STAR, some treats that they could take back to the room before they administered the test, which was super sweet. The Borger News Herald donated 800 books to the elementary, to kids, to teachers. One of our paras who just is about to graduate from WT to be a teacher, she lost all of her things she's been accumulating to be a teacher in the fire. And so we really stocked her up, so that was a really great gift. And then our school has decided to do a PJ Day for Jonathan Alejandro. And he's the high school student that is moving on in, is it Word? Brent?
Yeah, I can't remember which one it was. It's
Okay.
one of those.
Anyway, we wanted to help him raise some money for his trip. So we're going, and usually when we do a PJ Day, our school usually raise around $500. So we're excited to do that for him, and everybody loves to wear PJs, so it's a hit. And we'll do that in May and donate that money to Jonathan. We've had Assistant Principals Week, we've had Paraprofessional Week, and we've celebrated our librarians. We had our ST Math Night. We had that scheduled when the fire happened, and so we rescheduled and had a pretty good turnout, about 60 families. That is sponsored by Phillips, and they bought pizza for everybody, and the games are really nice games. There's 3 games in each box, so the parents came in and played those games and got to eat pizza with their kids, and that was a fun night. We did have a Star Pep rally on Friday to encourage our kids about the upcoming STAR. And we have kindergarten graduation pictures. I do want to say that the U.S. Cleaners in Amarillo agreed to clean all of the caps and gowns for our kindergartners for free, which was awesome. Yeah, so that saved us a lot of money, and her name is Taylor, and we're going to acknowledge her, and she just wanted to do that for our families, which was great. I don't know the last time they've been cleaned,
It
so
was before me.
yeah, it'll be nice. We're hosting our pre-K roundup on Monday from 4 to 5:30, and we're excited about that. We have some cute backdrops, and they're going to be able to take a tour of the building to help ease the minds of the parents coming, especially if it's their oldest one, first time in school, so that'll be good. And next Tuesday, we have our Science Star, and our pre-K and kinder are going to Frank Phillips for Baby Animal Day. And then our office staff, Appreciation Day, the 24th. We have a pre-K program on the 26th. and then our math star on the 30th. And then on the next slide is just some pictures of our paras. We could not do what we do without them. We utilized every single person, every single para in our building yesterday to administer the star, to be hall monitors, to give restroom breaks, and we certainly appreciate every one of them. The benchmarks on the next slide are the benchmarks, the most recent benchmarks, which were the release test. And in 3rd grade, when you look at the first score, you see the passing rate was set at 35%. That is approaches. However, if you go down to the next bracket, we had 31% at approaches, 31% at meets, and 17 at masters. We did have 11 students that did not pass, and so the not passing was at 21%. In 4th grade reading, we had 9 kids that did not pass. That was 19%. Approaches was 19, meets was 21, but we were super excited about our masters because that was at 40%. On the next slide, our 5th graders, we only had 8 kids that were below, and approaches was 37%, meets was 30%, and then masters was 19%. So we're excited about those reading scores. In math, this assessment was given. Our math test is the last star, and that's on the 30th. So she still had about 4 weeks when she had given this. And we had 38% below, 38 at approaches, 17 at meets, and 6 at masters. And I know that Ms. Moffitt's working hard in RTI groups with those kiddos that fell below passing. In 4th grade, we had 8 students that were below, 13% at approaches, 34% at meets, and we were super excited at the 36% at masters, which is awesome. 4th grade is where we really struggled last year at math. And Ms. Rankin's come in and she's done a phenomenal job in math. And then for Ms. Sanders came in, and I believe that we had almost 40% last year that did not pass the math in 4th grade. So she had a lot of ground to cover. She had 10 kids that did not pass, 41 at approaches and 41 at meets. So she's really been working on those kids that are right at that meets, almost to the masters, to bump those kids up. So we're excited about the data that we're seeing. In science, we had 9% below, 33 at approaches, 40 at meets, and then 18% at masters. And then the last page, we did have Phillips 66 also donated the solar eclipse classes, which was a lot of fun. We didn't let our pre-K or kinder go out. We just felt like they were a little too small to keep those classes on, but everyone else really enjoyed that. And also Borger News Herald donated games, mini games for every single teacher in our building, and brought those over. So they've been a great support, and we sure appreciate them.
Thank you. All right, Mrs. Carr.
The front page of mine there is just a picture of some of the kiddos that lost their houses in the fire with that counselor from St. Angelo that brought all that stuff that Miss Broadus talked about. It was crazy how much stuff they brought, like a trailer and a truckload, bicycles, boxes upon boxes and boxes of stuff. It was really awesome. Just some stuff going on, all the drills we've completed this year. Science Club's still working on growing some plants in their class. Just everything that we've had donated. Tractor Supply came also to our campus and brought a bunch of backpacks and school supplies. On the 22nd, when we didn't have school for the students, our student council got together and made brunch for the Frenchville Volunteer Fire Department and took that up there for them. We recently celebrated our paraprofessionals and our librarian. The junior high had their district track meet, which I think went pretty good. I saw a lot of kids with some medals after that. We got solar eclipse glasses from Phillips 66, like the junior or the elementary, and all of our kiddos got to go out and do that. They thought that was pretty cool. Yesterday we tested RLA for all subjects, and that went as good as can be expected, I think. Next page, I just have some photos. The top one is just Tractor Supply with all the stuff that they brought. Then my Student of the Month kiddos, most recent ones. In 8th grade, we had Gunnar Brasfield and Lily McDonald. In 7th grade, Emma Grisham and Adnay Cruz. And in 6th grade, Easton Schultz and Elise Sanders. The bottom picture there is just our paraprofessionals. Same thing that Gina said, we cannot get stuff done without them. They are really helpful around the campus. I missed out on getting Miss Lucero's picture because she took the day off. So. And then that's our student council that went to feed the volunteer fire department. Next is our enrollment. So we're up one student from last time. Actually, we enrolled 2 students today, 2 7th graders. So we're going to be at 164 now. And then our attendance there is holding steady at around 94, 95%. So not too bad there. I didn't include any data this time because all of our teachers are really into their star reviews and all that kind of stuff. So we're not giving any tests right now, just really focusing on getting all that star stuff reviewed and ready for the test. Next week we'll have science and U.S. history for the 8th graders, and then the following week we'll have the math star for everybody. This Saturday, I left this off, but this Saturday our 7th grade band's going to Tulia for a contest. Our high school band kiddo, our 8th graders that are in high school band will be going on that Branson trip with the high school band pretty quick. We're going to be celebrating Teacher Appreciation Week coming up soon. On the 7th, Miss McCowan's going to bring over her 5th grade kiddos to tour the junior high so they can start going ahead and getting a feel for all that kind of stuff over there. And then on the 15th, we're going to have our Eagle Awards.
Okay, good deal. All right, let's move on to Mr. Drew.
Okay. Right now, our enrollment, we have 71 freshmen, 57 sophomores, 55 juniors, and 49 seniors for a total of 232. And our attendance rate is at 94.28%. On the next page, this is just one picture of, I could have put 3 on here, but again, it's our art kids. I marvel when I go down the halls. We've got a lot of talented kids, and they're working a good job with them, getting to do all kinds of different types of artwork. On the next page, this is our OAP. This is the group the night they advanced from district to by district. Got a picture of the whole group there, and then on the next page, the top row, these are the what they earned at district. Davian Wickerson got Best Stage Manager. Trace Downs and Aubrey Freeman got Honorable Mention All-Star Cast. And then on the right, Madison Boyd and Damian Franz got All-Star Cast. And then on the bottom, that's the by-district kids. Aubrey Freeman got Best Actress. Grace Neighbors, Best Crew Member. Trace Downs, All-Star Cast. And then the Best Tag Crew, Grace Neighbors, Devin Schultz, Will Lyon, and Ramadi Lang. Phillips 66, of course, also donated to our kids, giving them the Eclipse glasses. We took them out to the track and let them watch that for about a half hour, and so that was a good experience for them. We also celebrated our paraprofessionals and our librarian, and much well-deserved. They do so much for us. We've been taking our STAR exams. Ms. Lyles and some of the teachers and parents have been very busy with that. And then I've got 3 pages of things going off through the end of the year. But there's baseball, softball, track. Art trip is going to Amarillo. The OAP was going to have a school performance. We had to move it, couldn't find another date. So we're not going to have a school performance for OAP. I hate that. And then our UIL kids have been doing real good in academics, so they were representing us well. We were also going to have an Auschwitz virtual tour on April 29th, and it was going to be a person actually at Auschwitz that would take us on a virtual tour where the kids could interact with them, ask questions, and so on. Well, the person that does it quit. And I think they have another one, but that one's booked. And so they're not gonna be able to do it this time, but I think they're still planning on maybe doing it early next year. So that was kind of we didn't like that, but we didn't have much choice. Of course, band's going to Branson, Missouri, May 3rd, and there's several more things, but it's busy end of the year. That's all I have. Anybody have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Coach Lee.
You can see the dates of all the athletic events that are taking place and the results, the overview or the synopsis of it. The baseball team is still playing for a playoff spot. The softball team is still playing for a chance at the district championship. So both are competing. There are strong numbers overall in the athletic department. Now it's time that we look at quality as well as quantity. We advanced 12 boys and 15 girls to the area track meet. From there, 7 boys and 12 girls have advanced to the regional track meet, so that was solid. Danner Price and Kinley Roberts won the district golf meet. Wyatt Henderson took 3rd. William Wiggins and Zayvon Deathridge were named Texas High School Coaches Association first team academic All-State in football. Danner Price was named second team academic All-State in basketball. And Danner Price also qualified for the state golf tournament. So very solid performance. We had a community parent meeting to open up the lines of communication. And I'd say it was direct. It was a sign that things are different and that it was well received, at least the feedback that has gotten to me. There are some pictures that were sent, and I don't know if it opens up. Right, that picture there had stood with Miss Booth at the game, and to watch the pride of someone that is from Fritch, someone that represents Fritch, and someone that is in your shoes radiated from her. And I think that instead of looking at the negative of where the football field is and coming as someone that is pleading and doing that, I would just say, if you have the ability to have someone radiate pride, talking about what the softball field looked like at a date to what it looked like that day, that's what people are seeing when they drive by Fritch. When you talk about what you want them to see on the bus, and there's a cost associated with all of it, but there's a cost the other way. Putting film on for just 2 seconds today turned my stomach as to what the football field looked like. And I don't know that it's not in worse shape now. But you have choices to make with it. I sure hope we pick the choice to do the things that made Ms. Booth just beam with pride. Because you see it. When you drive into town, and we're going to have to drive people by it for interviews coming up to fill vacancies. It's a whole lot nicer when you're driving them by something that looks like that. As far as thank yous, the support to the weight room, it has been tremendous. The intensity that was in the weight room multiple days this week, but particularly today, would have scared kids 2 months ago. And now they're embracing it, and not just random kids. One of the one-act play kids showed up. Can I be a part of this? You could have been a part of it the whole time. And you come through and see it. And I think that's what you wanted, those type of changes, and to take us a direction. We have a long way to go. We are 0-10 in football. We're 1-19 the last 2 years. And that's my fault because I'm sitting in that chair. But we will fix it, and we're working on it. But as we have that, I sure hope that the issues that are brought to you are to help instill the pride that came the day of that picture. And now that's picture, the next one, our golf team doing exceptionally well, and the picture after that is them holding their championship trophy, and then I think we put one of baseball playing at Booker just because.
Well, you sent it to me.
Too late.
Yeah.
So we have that, and that's tough when there's a lag from the event happening to this. But extremely excited to watch how excited somebody was as to how nice the facilities looked.
All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Searles?
Yes, so, on the front page of my report, I just wanted to, we're kind of like wrapping the year up, and so this is just a document that an Excel spreadsheet that I've kept up with that shows all the, formal observations and informal walkthroughs that we've had to track and to keep up with just for the teachers that are participating in the teacher incentive allotment. That doesn't count the walkthroughs and observations for all the other teachers who aren't in the group of the teachers who are being able to participate in the teacher incentive allotment. It's just been a lot, and I wanted you to see just how much work and time our administrators have had to put into helping these teachers get this money that they so deserve. And so right now, we're finishing up STAR. Some teachers are actively working on the final NWEA scores. And then those teachers who will finish their STAR test, then we'll do their NWEA test as well. And then we'll take all of that data and compile it to see what our student growth is from the beginning of the year till now. And then we combine that along with all of the data we've gotten from the walkthroughs. And we submit that to the state in October. And so I'll work on the data this summer. But we'll submit that in October and see what TEA says as far as our teachers earning those awards. We've got a lot of teachers that their scores, we've got some teachers that their student data matches up. We've got several teachers that we're looking at master teacher level. We've got several in all the different categories. And we've got some teachers that aren't going to quite make it this year. But I do know that the teachers have talked about this has really forced them to be cognizant about what they're doing in the classroom. It's pushed them to be better, which in turn helps our students be better as well. And so I just wanted you to see like what all the administrators have done, just to go towards, helping those teachers reach that. And then just on the back are just some things that have been going on, what we've been working on. This year we've had to have a special education review and a dyslexia program review that happens every 6 years, and so that's taken a lot of work the last couple weeks to get the data that TEA says we have to submit. And so we submitted all of that, and then we wait till July 26th to see if we're in or out of compliance, and then we have 128 days to come up with a plan from there. So hopefully we have what we need, and we don't have to come up with a plan, so that's taken a lot of time here lately. But just looking at prepping for next year, curriculum, what jobs we're going to have to fill, what we need to work on for those teachers, and just a lot going on.
Okay. Any questions?
On your TIA, according to your spreadsheet, y'all have been super busy. Have you kind of figured out, is that the way you want to continue to do it?
Well, we have talked about that, and we think we want to make some changes after this year. And so we've talked to some teachers, some that were a little upset about how some of their scores have come out. And, at first they thought this was good to have the 4 walkthroughs and the formal, but now some of them are expressing concerns like maybe we really should do like 2 formal walkthroughs and not all the 2 formal observations and not the walkthrough, because they say maybe in that 15-minute walkthrough time you can't see all the pieces that we need to have. So what we'll do is we'll submit this, and then we'll look at revamping our plan. We can make modifications to our plan. We don't want to do any modifications until we see how this plan works. We kind of want to see it through. And then possibly, we'll get our committee back together. We'll do some more talks. We'll open the committee up again and invite anybody that wants to be on it, have more talks about it. But we're thinking more along the lines of less informal walkthroughs and more formal walkthroughs, so you can get that full picture of a class versus just that little snippet. So we'll see, how this, once we submit it, we'll see how many teachers are accepted or not accepted and see what the state says. And then if we need to go back and relook at it, we'll do that for sure. If the state says it's good as it is, we can still go back and revisit and modify our plan if we need to do that as well. And if we do have to modify our plan, then we can look at adding in those extra groups that we want to start building on to get more teachers involved as well.
What's the difference between an informal and a formal walkthrough? What's the,
So a formal walkthrough is a minimum of 45 minutes, and you go in and you sit down, and it's announced, the teachers know when you're coming in, and it's a full 45 minutes, so you can see start to finish the whole lesson. Informal walkthroughs, we don't tell them when we're coming, we just show up, we stay 10 to 15 minutes, and we get what data we can gather in those 10 to 15 minutes. We still write it up, we still give them feedback. It's just not a full-length lesson, so you can't see what their opening is, what their closing is, how they wrap the lesson up. And so there are parts that you do miss. So that's,
so if you do less, does it, but does it make it harder, out of your options? If you choose to do less, is it gonna make it harder on them?
it could, because you're basing it on 2 scores
Sure.
versus right now we've got 5. So every teacher right now has a full formal, and then they have 4 walkthroughs. So they've got 5 chances basically, and all 5 of those average together. Whereas if you have the 2, you'll have 2 shots, And the state doesn't care how we do it, they just want us to be consistent and follow through with what we say we're gonna do.
Yeah.
And so, in the beginning, some schools do 1. They do 1 walkthrough and they count it. And our teachers were like, I hate that, because what if our kids are off? What if we're off? So that's when they started talking about adding these in. Well, now we've done it, and we're like, maybe the short ones aren't the best idea either. So we'll see how we get, how our plan works when we submit it.
And then you'll finish the ones that are still out there. I mean, they'll all be done by the end of the year, right?
Yes. Yeah, and I think we're almost done. When I looked today, there's probably only 1 or 2 left. We're pretty close. They all have to be done by May 3rd, I believe is the date that I have set that for.
And 5 may be a lot. I mean,
It's a lot.
it's a lot for y'all.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And then to still run your school and do all the other things too. It's a lot. And we knew it would be a lot next year. So theoretically, if all of these teachers earn an award, theoretically the next year would be less, because you don't have to do every single person that's up for teacher incentive allotment. Then they go back into the regular rotation of every other year, unless they want to try to bump themselves up to the next level of TIA. If they want to bump themselves up, then they have to go through with all of the observations. If they're happy with where they land, then they go back in the regular rotation. So, our walkthroughs should be less next year if they're accepted, but, it probably won't be. Some teachers won't quite make it. We'll just have to readjust our schedule next year, but it's been a lot this year.
Well, thank you for all the work. I know it has been.
Well, and I think these principals too, because it's been probably harder on them, and I've been on them, and don't forget to get these done, and, but they do it. They're great.
Good deal. All right, Mr. Hine.
Okay, I have several things to share with you today. First on SHARS. This is an issue that I don't believe we brought to you before. So earlier this year, the State Health and Human Services, the HHSC, they determined that they were going to change the reimbursement rate for the 2022 SHARS reimbursement. So that's the one our cost report settle up for it has just started happening. We would normally get a check about right now. And so they changed, or it starts in February, the settle up. So we learned in February that they had decided to cut the reimbursement rate basically in half. And so the change for us is the initial amount that they said that we were going to receive in settle up was $90,000. After the change in reimbursement rate, we owe them $9,000. So that's almost a $100,000 change. So we talked with our special ed co-op people, and then we talked with the lawyers who represent the special ed co-op, Walsh Anderson, which are also our lawyers, and they advised us to do an informal review. We did the informal review. HHSC said no, we like our decision. So that our option was a formal review, which we went ahead and did based on the Walsh Anderson's recommendation. So far, we've spent about $1,300 in legal fees. If we see this all the way through, Walsh Anderson anticipates $38,000 in legal fees. We are not recommending that we see it all the way through. What Walsh Anderson is hoping is that they're representing 30 districts, I believe is what the number she gave me, that the 30 districts, they're hoping that they're going to be able to go in after discovery, point out that, hey, you guys just set this arbitrary cut it in half thing and try to get some of the money back and get HHSC to settle before it goes to trial, because HSC will spend a lot of money in a trial as well. And so they're really hoping that they can settle beforehand. So what they've encouraged us to stay in until the point where it becomes obvious that they're not going to settle and they want to go to an actual trial. And if we get to that point, then we'll have to decide whether we stay in. And at that point, we would recommend we cut our losses and get out. So it's what happened is they got and basically an audit from the feds, and the feds weren't happy with how the state was running their program, just like the feds weren't happy with how the state was running the special education program. And so their knee-jerk reaction was like, okay, we're just going to cut half the money out. And so this is our attempt, along with the other districts that did it with us, to get them to look at it and say, okay, let's get a reasonable middle ground here. You can't just suddenly cut away half the money. So we think we have a good point. I saw the documents that Walsh Anderson sent to them. To me, they look really good, and of course, I'm a little biased. But if we did drop out, and then at some point later, like say HHSC, that is so hard for me to say. They say that they're not going to settle, and they go to trial, and we drop out, and then they go to trial, and they win. The Walsh wins. We don't get anything. You only get anything if you stay through to the end. And so that's why we're in it right now, in hopes that it'll just end early. That after the initial discovery phase, that they'll meet with them and that there'll be some kind of settlement. So we wanted to keep you guys, or let you know about this and where we are. Like I said, right now we've spent very little, but and there's $100,000 on the table. So we hadn't budgeted to receive an additional. We've already received $45,000 from SHARS this year. We had budgeted for another $30,000, so I didn't expect 90, but I didn't expect to owe 10 either. So we're probably, it's from our budget, this is probably about a $50,000 hit if they don't settle with us for something. I'm really hoping that they will settle with us for something on that. Any questions on that one? Harbinger of Doom, back to my title.
It's the state, what can you do, right?
Yep. We have got, speaking of the state, we have got our allotment of the safety grant for the state, and they gave us $150,000 plus the $50,000 allotment. We do have a plan on how to spend it. A lot of things you guys already approved for me to do, so we'll talk about it in executive session, exactly the projects that we're going to use that money for. We have hired our assistant business manager, Courtney. She started this week, and we've been having fun doing some training this week. Mr. Garrison's been sitting in on the training too, so it's been interesting. So thank you guys for that. And then on the bond, I just listed everything that we've done to this point, and the stuff that's going to happen. We do have an open house scheduled for tomorrow. We did post it as a board meeting so that if a quorum of you show up for the open house, that it will still be legal. So it's 6 to 8. We're just going to be here to answer questions for anybody who wants to have questions. We're going to try to pick up some refreshments tomorrow. We're on to a cybersecurity thing tomorrow, Jason and I are, but on our way back we're going to try to pick up some snacks. So do encourage that if you could to be at that one. On my actual financial report, on the summary, I just wanted to point out that once again we're staying fairly steady at that 650, right around that 655 refined ADA. So it's, at this point of the year, that's where it's probably gonna end up, which, remember, that's 20 more than we budgeted for, so we're way up on that. And so the state will end up having to give us some money, because they anticipated, I think when we looked at it today, it was like 610 was the number that was in there, so they were thinking we were gonna be much lower than we are, so that's pretty good. The quarterly investment report is very nice. If you look at it, you'll see that in this last quarter, we got, it doesn't look right, it's 22,000. I think I have my formula wrong, because it was 14,000. Let me go back.
That's some zeros.
Let me look
That's
at,
the 23. You're looking at the 23. Are you looking at the 23?
well, I looked at, I
No,
pulled
I
up,
meant the 2023 is 23. The 2024
oh,
is better than that.
did I have,
Yeah, you put, I didn't know if you were like going, look how much different it is. You put in 23 and 24.
24 is the last one.
Yeah. And it does look great.
It does.
well, we got like 43,000.
Yes.
Huh, sure enough, I did.
I just thought you were trying to show off how, look at the difference.
Look at the difference, that's what I thought.
Yeah, me too. That's why I didn't call you out on it, because I was like, oh, he's showing us the difference.
Okay, that makes sense now, because I loaded the wrong one the first time. I was like, wow. Yeah, so 43,000 in interest. That is much more than I had anticipated even. So you can see on the details reports that it's starting to fluctuate a little bit down, but it's staying right around. This thing scoots over when I blow it up so I can see it. It's staying right around 5.3% interest rate, which, you know, as we know, we've talked before, we were at like 0.01,
Yeah.
you know, a year or so ago. So 43,000 for a quarter
Yeah.
will be way over what I budgeted for the year on this one. So that'll be a good thing. Are there any questions on any of those?
No? Okay. Mr. Garrison?
Yes, sir. I've got April and May board update with several things going on all the different campuses. Just want to remind you that, you know, if you can make it to the different activities, the kids are doing a great job to end the year. Remind you that graduation on May 17th will be at 7 p.m. for those of you that can be there for that. And our employee appreciation banquet will be the same day at 1 p.m. And then I'm assuming we want to do it the same way we've always done it with the prizes and all that. We're good with that? Okay. All right, we'll get that taken care of. But been very busy, and as you can tell from all their different reports, they've been very busy as well. And so we're working hard and get through the end of the year and get the best product out there we can get. And so they're doing a great job.
Good deal. All right. So do y'all want to have a meeting before the end of the school year or after? Before? So we have, we can do the 15th or the 4th. What do you got on the 14th, Doug? Are y'all done with baseball?
No,
No.
I probably got something, but
You want to do the 15th? Doesn't look like we have anything major there.
I might be at something.
That's fine.
It'll be over by 6.
It'll be way
I'll
over.
still be there. There's a party bus here apparently. So.
Oh, yeah. We're going on that.
So I hear, I don't know.
No, I'm good with the 15th. Good.
Everybody else good with 15? All right.
We may have to, you may have to do it earlier, because there's a deadline to do well, of course, you can just have, because they don't all have to be here for that one.
as long as we've been
Never mind.
done.
You're good.
Which one? For the
For the, you have to get the, what's it called?
What is it called?
Where you go and, you ratify that the election.
Canvas?
Because you
Canvas the election.
Yeah, canvas. I'm like, what is that called?
Yeah, the canvassing the election, you have to do it within a certain number of days.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
You have to be here.
But,
Yeah, because
You'll be here.
is the election the fourth?
Yes, the election's the 4th. I'm gonna look to see when.
but only 2 of them have to be here for canvassing.
Yeah.
So we could do the canvassing in between
Yeah.
if we had to.
Is it 10 days?
I just
I
can't-
know, I think it's 7 or 10. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking, is it 7?
Okay.
And then are they sworn in May or?
They're just at the next meeting.
Sworn in.
Yeah, in May,
Next meeting?
at the next May,
Yeah.
or at the next meeting.
Okay. So. We'll still do it on the 15th. Okay. All right, Mr. Hind, will you call us into executive session at 7:10 to discuss personnel, to hear complaints against certain personnel of public officer, Texas Governmental Code 551.071, the deployment or specific occasion of implementation of security personnel, critical infrastructure, security devices, Texas Government Code 551.076, and I missed 551.071 just to discuss personnel deliberation of professional contracts for school nurse, counselor, and classroom teachers, and professional contracts. out of the executive session at 7:40. And we need to make another motion on the educational materials and technology allotment. It's for 23-24, and we need to change that to 24-25. So, do I have a motion for that?
I move to approve the educational materials and technology allotment for the 2024-2025 school year.
A motion by Doug, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Stacy. All in favor? All in favor?
Give me just a second. Before you-
No.
What was the year on that?
2024-2025.
Okay.
Almost right.
All in favor, none opposed, motion carries.
That's right.
Okay. Okay.
All right, Mr. Garrison.
All right, I recommend Brenda Langley for 2024-2025 term contract for certified registered nurse, subject to salary and assignment.
I have a recommendation by Jason, do I have a motion?
Make the motion to approve Brenda Langley for a 2024-2025 term contract for certified registered nurse, subject to salary and assignment.
Motion by Rusty, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mike, all in favor? All in favor, none opposed, motion carries.
All right, I recommend Melinda Broadus, Amy Lyles, and Deidre Wiggins for a 2024-2025 term contract for certified counselor, subject to salary and assignment.
I have a recommendation by Jason, do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve Melinda Broadus, Amy Lyles, and Deidre Wiggins for a 2024-2025 term contract for certified counselor, subject to salary and assignment.
Motion by Mike, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Doug, all in favor? All in favor, none opposed, motion carries. Mr. Garrison.
Okay.
Who was the second on that? Sorry. Okay, thanks.
All right, I recommend for certified teacher, classroom teacher, term contract for the 2024-2025 as presented.
All right. I have a recommendation by Jason, do I have a motion?
I make the motion to approve Kathleen Adams, Shelby Allen, Audrey Anderson, Candace Brassfield, Tarja Brown, Sandra Bryan, Jennifer Berger, Reba Burke, Shelley Cannon, Kylie Dethridge, Monica Fry, Caitlin Blossom, Brenda Gray, Cassandra Geppo, Selden Hale, Ashley Hanson, Autumn Harston, Shahina Henderson, Kim Holges, Amy Klaus, Jenna Lance, Robin Line, Stacy Lovejoy, Aaron Marshall, Lisa Mesnick, Brooke Moffitt, Gina Moose, Lindy Price, Lindsay Raff, Lucretia Rankin, Kayla Reed, Caitlin Rice, Lisa Rosas, Kathy Sanders, Melissa Schick, Salem Sylvie, Jeremiah Tracy, Pam Walker, Tracy Weston, and Rachel Yarbrough for a 2024-2025 term contract for certified classroom teacher, subject to salary and assignment.
I have a motion by Doug, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Rusty, all in favor? All in favor, none opposed, motion carries.
And I recommend Shannon Robinson for a 2024-2025 term contract for certified classroom teacher, subject to salary and assignment.
I have a recommendation by Jason, do I have a motion?
I make the motion to approve Shanna Robinson for a 2024-2025 term contract for certified classroom teacher, subject to salary and assignment.
A motion by Logan, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Stacy, all in favor? All, we have all in favor, Mike abstains, well, Mike abstains. Rest of us vote yes.
Okay, I recommend a dual assignment term contract for certified classroom teacher and coach, subject to salary assignment for the 2024-2025 school year as presented.
Have a motion, or a recommendation by Jason, of a motion.
I make the motion to approve Garrett Brewer, Troy Fry, Grayson Habather, Jason Hale, Mallory Hale, Jonathan Lambert, and Emily Vincent for a 2024-2025 dual assignment term contract for certified classroom teacher slash coach, subject to salary and assignment.
Motion by Doug, do I have a second? Second by Rusty, all in favor? All in favor, none opposed, motion carries.
All right, I recommend Richard Wakefield for a 2024-2025 contract for non-certified classroom teacher, subject to salary and assignment.
Recommendation by Jason, do I have a motion?
Make the motion to approve Richard Wakefield for the 2024-2025 contract for non-certified classroom teacher, subject to salary and assignment.
A motion by Logan, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Stacy, all in favor? All in favor, none opposed, motion carries.
Okay, I recommend a 2024-2025 probationary contract for certified classroom teacher as presented.
Recommendation by Jason, do I have a motion?
Make the motion to approve Misty Barrett, Sarah Slee, Laura Sisson, Samantha Riggle, and Maria Walker for a 2024-2025 probationary contract for certified classroom teacher, subject to salary and assignment.
Motion by Rusty, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Doug, all in favor? All in favor, none opposed, motion carries.
Okay, I recommend Lane Neely for a 2024-2025 probationary dual assignment contract for certified classroom teacher slash coach, subject to salary and assignment.
Have a recommendation by Jason, do I have a motion?
Make the motion to approve Lane Neely for a 2024-2025 probationary dual assignment contract for certified classroom teacher, coach, subject to salary and assignment.
Motion by Logan, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Rusty. All in favor? All in favor, none opposed, motion carries.
Make the recommendation for a 2024-2025 probationary dual assignment contract for certified classroom teacher slash band director for Jacob Sexton, subject to salary and assignment.
Have a recommendation by Jason, do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve Jacob Sexton for a 2024-2025 probationary dual assignment contract for certified classroom teacher slash band director, subject to salary and assignment.
Motion by Doug, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mike. All in favor? All in favor, none opposed, motion carries.
Make the motion to adjourn.
Rusty make a motion to adjourn. Second. Second by Mike. All in favor? All in favor, motion carries. We are adjourned at